Have you ever felt the exhausting friction of doing everything right, moving constantly, and yet staying in the exact same place? You wake up, you hit your targets, you manage your routine, but your long-term progress remains completely static. We often attribute this stagnation to bad luck or a shifting economy, but it's usually a direct result of the inputs we choose. Guidelines like play it safe and be realistic are designed to keep you comfortable and socially acceptable. If you follow the same risk-averse map as everyone else, you are selecting for a destination that looks exactly like everyone else's. To step out of that loop, you have to replace vague intentions with concrete mechanics. We are going to build a personalized 5-step growth and risk blueprint to turn these abstract ideas into a sequence of documented actions. Right now, open a blank digital document or grab a physical notebook. You are going to build this framework alongside me in real time. Moving from passively consuming advice to actively documenting your own strategy is the mandatory first step to breaking out of the average life trap. Let's start building. Step 1 is the safety audit. We naturally measure safety in short increments, avoiding a difficult conversation today or skipping a new software tutorial this week feels protective, but that immediate comfort quietly compounds into a massive hidden risk. You avoid new environments, and over a few years, your skills and network become entirely irrelevant in your field. In your document, create a header titled My Safety Traps. Underneath it, write down one specific area where you are currently trading future growth for immediate comfort. Identify exactly how avoiding pain today creates a massive vulnerability for you 3 years from now. The only mechanism to break that safety trap is a calculated risk. But before you quit your job or drain your savings, we need to run your ideas through step 2, the risk filter. Look at this comparative matrix. On the left, we have a reckless risk. This relies entirely on luck, a vague fantasy, or a 3 a.m. burst of emotion. If a reckless risk fails, your outcome is 0. You are left with nothing but an empty bank account and frustration. Now focus on the right side. A productive risk is an act of controlled discomfort. Even in the worst-case scenario, where the project entirely fails, the process itself forces you to acquire a new skill, a new network contact, or a tangible asset. Failure still yields a strict, measurable baseline return. Go back to your document and draft one specific productive risk you can take this week. Run it through the filter. If it fails, what exact skill or asset do you keep? Write that guaranteed return down. By systematically curating your choices this way, you remove the terror of failure. You transform the worst possible outcome from a dead end into a guaranteed stepping stone. Step 3 focuses on your mental environment, and it requires ignoring the popular advice to never waste time. Filling every commute with a podcast and every gap with a task creates a false efficiency that restricts your thinking. This diagram shows what happens to your attention. When you optimize every minute, your brain gets locked in maintenance mode. It operates rigidly, processing incoming traffic like emails, errands, and chores. It is executing, not inventing. For your brain to shift into exploration mode and generate nonlinear, original solutions, you have to remove the input. Biological systems require unstructured silence to connect disparate ideas. Without that empty space, your solutions will only ever echo what you have already consumed. Open your weekly calendar right now. Physically drag a 2-hour block onto your upcoming weekend and label it Creative Oxygen. No screens, no goals, no specific inputs, just scheduled wandering. Do not treat this block as a moral failure or laziness. This unstructured time is the mandatory operational maintenance your brain requires for high-level problem solving. Now we move to step 4, the visibility trigger. Society often trains us to keep our heads down and stay moderate to avoid criticism. But for your career to progress, other people have to know what you're capable of. If you stay invisible, it remains impossible for new opportunities to find you. Understand that guaranteed positive attention does not exist. If you pitch an idea, publish your work, or step up to lead, someone will criticize you. Accepting that occasional public awkwardness is simply the mandatory entry fee for accessing modern opportunities. In your blueprint, write down one exact public action you will take this week to signal your skills to the market. Make a decision to stop hiding until you feel perfectly ready. This brings us to the final component, Step 5, Active Growth Reps. Here, we address the most misunderstood piece of normal advice, the instruction to be patient. Take a look at this split screen. On the left, patience is treated as passive waiting. Time passes over a rock in the soil and nothing happens. On the right, patience is an active state. Time passes over a seed while it is relentlessly watered and cultivated, creating compounding growth. Time alone changes nothing without active mechanics behind it. Under Step 5 in your document, list the daily, uncomfortable repetitions you must commit to doing while you wait for your productive risks to mature. Outline the exact repetitive work you will execute during the wait. True patience has nothing to do with standing by and hoping the market magically notices you. It is a state of aggressive execution where you stack effort until the outcome tips in your favor. Look at the document you just built. You have translated a vague sense of ambition into a hard, executable strategy. You now have a system to mitigate hitting stagnation, a filter to ensure your risks always generate a return, a protected schedule for creative thinking, and a mechanism to send visible signals to the market. Your challenge right now is to execute just Step 4, your visibility trigger, within the next 24 hours. Push that single action out into the real world immediately to break any lingering paralysis. A normal life is entirely fine, but it is engineered to keep you safe and predictable. Exceptional outcomes only materialize when you stop measuring your goals against a restrictive, comfortable reference points of an average existence. Execute the reps, take the risk, and let your results stand out.